This is an absolutely fascinating story. You and Guillaume were on Roxham Road recently, and thank goodness you were, because you tell it like it is. And so much happened. I think we have some footage, but maybe you want to explain to the audience what it is exactly we're about to witness here.
So everybody know the infamous Roxham Road, where some migrant from US is coming for seeking asylum. But the problem is like now the US, specifically New York, is contributing with our problem with the illegal immigrant that come into Canada. Now the mayor, Eric Adam, is now paying and offering free bus ticket paid by taxpayer for going elsewhere than New York City. But you will understand that most of them wants to take the bus to Plattsburgh. And Plattsburgh, it's about not even like 20 minutes drive from Roxham Road. So where they actually took a cab to Roxham Road. So the announcement was made this week. So me and Guillaume, we went to the border to observe if something was happening, if they had more entries that was going on. And when we went there, so many other journalists were on the US side. And I was like, okay, I've been to Roxham Road so many times and I never saw journalists, especially on the US side. So right now we have all the world looking at us, Canadian, with our infamous illegal crossing border, where US is actually just sending them to us, crossing there, and everybody say, what is going on in Canada? Why they are accepting that? And yeah, so now I was waiting for one of the bus that was arriving to Plattsburgh from New York at 3:30. And it was incredible because maybe about 20 minutes after the bus arrived in Plattsburgh, we saw about 3 cabs arriving back to back with bunch of family, other different people, some from Pakistan, some from Africa, some from different place. And I was asking them, okay, how did you get to Plattsburgh? And a lot of people were like, okay, we took the bus from New York. And I was okay. So it's really something that is happening. And I was talking with one of the members of the RCMP, and he actually said that he think that the situation will increase more and more with the announcement that just happened like this week.
Unbelievable. And we'll talk about this after we run the footage, Alexa. Thanks to your due diligence, you and Guillaume, we now know precisely what a bus ticket costs from New York City to Plattsburgh. But before we go on, folks, why don't we roll this fascinating footage, and then we'll further analyze it on the other side.
Monsieur, de ce côté-là, vous êtes en état d'arrestation pour entrée illégale au Canada, okay? So, whatever you say will be taken down in writing and can be used as evidence against you. You have the right to remain silent, okay? You are police officers. You're under arrest for illegal.
Vous êtes arrivé, vous avez pris l'autobus de New York à Plattsburgh et vous avez pris après un taxi?
Oui.
Well, you know, Alexa, there you have it, the raw footage. I know we're going to edit a more comprehensive report. So much to pick apart here. For example, I alluded to the bus ticket. I believe it's $66 to travel to Plattsburgh. And how did Alexa and Guillaume find that out, folks? Well, somebody just dropped their bus ticket on the ground. You know, this isn't the biggest part of this illegal immigrant migration into Quebec, Alexa, but it speaks volumes. You're already illegal aliens. You're into Canada, and one of the first things you do is you litter. You just have no respect for the country that is now going to put you up in a nice hotel and give you 3 square meals a day and basically pamper you. I don't think I saw the RCMP acting as the Royal Canadian Bellhop Service in the last clip. I don't know if they're doing that anymore. But there's that. And what really irks me, Alexa, is that when you are a migrant and you are fleeing persecution, although we do know that many of these people are economic migrants. They just don't want to get in line and go through the rules like other immigrants do. Once you land in a safe haven country, and that would be the United States of America, that's it. You're across the finish line. You are America's situation to deal with. Even when we go back to, I think it was 2017 when Justin Trudeau sent out that ludicrous hashtag welcome to Canada, that was Trudeau taking a jab at the then U.S. President Donald Trump. But there is no Trump administration in the United States anymore, as if that was any kind of a threat to migrants coming into America. It's now the Democrats and it's sleepy old Joe Biden in the White House. And yet still, this is happening. And as you mentioned from that RCMP officer, he expects it to get worse. And the utter audacity of the mayor of New York and his regime, Alexa, funding $66 bus tickets, and then, oh, that solves that problem. Meanwhile, what are we incurring long-term for housing, feeding, legal action, everything you can? It's going to be in the millions and millions and millions of dollars. And that's why the mayor of New York City doesn't want this burden. So he just tosses this hot potato to us. It's kind of like a perverse form, I think, Alexa, of human trafficking.
But because I would say, like, first time that the migrants were open to talk to me. I don't know if it's the effect of many journalists around, so they were more open to talk. And I was talking with a Colombian family who arrived, like, I think there were 6 of them. And I was, how did you get there? And she was telling me, oh, we have a friend with a van who drove us to Plattsburgh. And I was like, okay, but if it's a friend with a van, why didn't drive you to the border? If it's like a friend, or it's just like some kind of, I don't know, like some people who do business to drive people around US to the border, because now it's a thing, because we know that some van is starting in Florida to drive all the way to Roxham Road. And I was talking with them and I was like, how did you heard that you were capable to enter in Canada by Roxham Road? And some of them say, by talking, people like were telling us where to go. And I was like, who? They say, but everybody know that road. And I was like, okay, so now everybody know that road because now it's like very famous. We let that go too far because now it's known everywhere. And the thing is, so now they will try to close probably the road, or probably never. But same if we close it, people will still go there because now it's known everywhere. So our problem is bigger and bigger and bigger, and nobody seems to act, especially not the liberal federal government who don't dare to do anything. And now we have the PQ, Pierre Saint-Paul Plamondon, who have bring into the table a new project of law to bring the Quebec police to act. But what they are going to do? We have already RCMP who are going and arresting the illegal immigrant. But what are they going to do? They will arrest them too, bring them to immigration and put them in the hotel? So it will create the same situation, but paying more and more police for doing the same job.
I think you're right, Alexa. And we should address, I think, the unspoken strategy here, because I believe that the very lowest benchmark of what makes a nation is border security. If you can't defend your own borders from invaders, then you're not really much of a country to begin with.